one of the things I was kind of impressed with is the character of guys that we have and we've drafted. Just looking at some of the highlights of rookie camp. Um, Obviously, athletic ability is one thing that we always look for and covet with the Chiefs. Are they a caliber of being here with this organization? And so all those guys fit. We've seen them out there, Marcus, with a little bit that we did see. They do fit. Another thing that I recognize, though, too, that we got some high quality guys, high quality character guys that I'm really impressed with. And so, um, if it's Josh Simmons, Norman-Lott, Bassa, Gillotte, uh, Noel Williams. I mean, you name it. I watched all those guys get up and speak, um, and I was just like, man, all these dudes are just good-hearted, good, wholesome dudes, and you can kind of tell it. I think they're very thankful, and each and every one of them got up there and said as such. They didn't seem rattled at all by any of the questions that the media was giving them, and I think because they are quality guys, they had really an air of maturity about them. And so, there was a couple of guys I sit there and I was saying, just kind of giving at least a nod to just showing a little bit of their character. And so for me, I love high quality character guys. I think it's something that is absolutely something that we are missing in today's world. To hear these young guys come out here and talk about these things, it absolutely warms my heart to hear how they think about the world and how they think about others, because that's what we're supposed to do. For somebody like me, I'm me. Look, I'll wear my faith on my sleeve. I am a 100 unapologetically follower of Christ. Okay, and one thing that I make sure and I do as a responsibility is about loving others, because that's what our responsibility is to do, Marcus, as a man of faith. And so I take that very seriously, because there's a lot of hate in the world. And I said this, actually, we do a men's group. I give a shout out to my men's group out here every week. Every Thursday, we get on and we'll start talking about just things that we should be doing, our responsibility. And so how a lot of us abscond that responsibility as people of faith sometimes. We don't do a very good job of loving others like Christ told us we're supposed to. We just don't. And I hate it because sometimes when I see these Twitter followers or people on these social media, one thing they're spewing hate on one side, and then in the bio, Christ is king in another. And I think the hypocrisy of it is disrespectful. It's nauseating. I feel like maybe the people that's professing to do this haven't really read the Bible like they should. They haven't read the Beatitudes. They haven't talked about what the fruits of the Spirit are. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox, man, and my preach, because thankful for that. But that's what I am. I'm about treating people fair. I'm about treating everybody how we're supposed to treat them. Christ told us we're supposed to treat them, because we all made in God's image. Just what it is. And so we got to do a much better job. Now, speaking to the people out here who are men and women of faith, that's how we're supposed to be. So it doesn't matter who you are. We're supposed to love you. Matter of fact, Marcus, it tells us not just to love each other, but it tells us to love our enemies. That's what we're supposed to do. We pray for one another. So that's why we crown this thing too. So I get off of that, but I just want to show a couple of guys that I think is high character guys out here, man. So just want to talk about that real quick. So here's a couple
All
of
right.
these.
So here we go.
Looking at Bassa out here, we're number 31. He gives a reason why he's wearing 31 out
One,
here. So
yeah. So the first reason was for my teammate Kyrie Jackson, who was on the Minnesota Vikings. He passed away, and he wore 31 when he got drafted to the Vikings last year. So I wanted to honor him, but then as well as a little bit reasoning for my family as well. I got three sisters, and I'm the only boy, so I kind of seen the three and the one go hand in hand. But yeah, those were the main two reasons. First and foremost, yeah, I just want to say rest in peace to my brother Kyrie Jackson. I got a guy who was very passionate for the game, and a guy that I remember having a lot of conversations about, just about life, and then as well as him being hard on me and me being hard on him. So I wanted to
Comes down to my faith and really the calling I feel like God put on me. Like I don't need half the thing. Like I'm grateful with what I have. So like whatever I can give back, I'll give back because my mom ingrained that in me. My pastors ingrained that in me. My youth group leaders. So it's just for me, it's been a calling, especially for veterans. Like veterans was a big thing for me. Homelessness, that's another thing. Like if I can give back in any way, that's I feel like that's what you're supposed to do, especially when you get in these positions. So
Like both quality dudes.
It's quality right there, man. That right there is an exhibition of great character, um, and so you could tell it was from the heart. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. Uh, and when I seen that, I'm just like, "Dad, God!" Like some of these kids get it. They do. I kind of wonder why sometimes us as adults don't. Um, sometimes we have the mouthpiece to say certain things, but then what we do and how we treat other people, it's not really what we do. We don't really represent the reflection of God like we're supposed to. I think it's a big problem. But sitting there, Bassa sitting there saying that for his teammate had passed away, was with the Vikings. I remember that going on, man, and saying that, and then talking about his three sisters, and him, it just kind of made sense. So you could tell that they're instilling things into him. I just, and the thing is, I just kind of, put these two guys out here. Then Gillotte talking about, how he cares much for the veterans. And, my father, man, he was, he fought in two wars. Was actually in two branches of service because he could be like that back then. And then my brother was in the Air Force. Then, we're talking about, just, family members in it. But then he talks about the homelessness that goes on. And I don't think it's just homelessness of veterans, but also, too, just here in America. And people care for that. So when people have a heart for things of that nature, it tells a lot about a person. It does. They didn't put anybody down. They didn't say anything negative about anyone. I think what they were sitting there saying is that we need to care for the least of these. We need to care for the people that get overlooked. We need to care for the ones that care for us. And I completely agree on those things. So when your boy, he talks about his boy and doing it for a particular reason and rationale, man, that's it's heartfelt right there. And then, like I said, I just happen to have those two guys on, and I guarantee every single guy out here who came on that I seen on the press conference would have the exact same stories. And not saying the other guys on the team don't either, but I'm just saying for young guys to come out there and to speak this way is really a breath of fresh air. It really is. So.
Yeah, and one of the other things too, he talked about, just do us as veterans, but doing things for the community. That's a big part of who he is, and you gotta love that. Like he wants to already. He's already been there for a week, right? He wants to do that for the community. He doesn't even know it yet. Yes, he's seen the love on social media, but he just wants to do that for the community that he's going to be residing in. So that's a special person for sure.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna say something. The Kansas City Chiefs do a great job of getting guys out in the community. They really do. If anything, I would say they were probably one of the main organizations that made sure the guys were doing things and getting part of foundations and whatnot. I got my foundation done for kids, and they started out there in Kansas City. And they asked guys, hey, what do you want to be a part of? What is passionate to you? And so they won about that from guys. And that's one thing I've always appreciated about the Hunt family and the Kansas City Chiefs organization. Okay. And that starts from the top. Lamar, hey, that's what was important to him. And you can see it goes back down as well to Clark and all the rest of the family. So it's good. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff to see things like that. I just had to give a shout out because I think it's important to particularly give, a celebratory and congratulations to people who have no other thing but to tell you how much they care about others. So I love it.
Yeah, definitely raised right. I've seen her Gelotte's mom's, commenting on all the stuff and whatnot. But very, you can tell, very, very good, very good dude.
Mm-hmm.
And also too, I think another thing that stands that you kind of mentioned it, JD, is another clip of meta play. like this is so cool, right? So they're going to minicamp for the first time, all these guys who drafted, but like they're putting on their professional helmet for the first time. And it's like, and I think you tweeted it out on Twitter. You were like, it's literally like Christmas Day. You're like opening up like your gift for the first time and seeing all these guys' faces with that was great. And I'm going to play that right here. This is awesome stuff.
Draft at 950.
We'll get you the true helmet. Pull that Chiefs jacket. We'll get you. Did you get scanned?
What cleat are you wearing? Is that the old ball on your cleat or the new one?
And they were talking to Royals about in his press conference. That's not the clip I have tonight, but when we talk about him, but they talked about him about the whole experience so far, and he said I'm very anxious. And I think the reporter asked him, like, "What are you anxious about? The playbook?" He was like, "Everything." It's like the anxiety is like everything, but like it's just there's 3 short days. It's like you get drafted, a week to get your bearings. You go out to Kansas City, you're getting fitted for all this stuff. And you got a 3-day mini camp. I mean, it's a lot in such a short amount of time for these young bucks.
Oh yeah, man. I'm telling you, it's going fast. I mean, whirlwind. I mean, they can't even. It's like running around with a chicken with your head cut off. You're at the hotel. You're doing this. You got to go here. Like it's just staying on the move the entire time. And I think he said that Patrick Mahomes reached out to him too. Roy was like, man, Patrick Mahomes reached out. He didn't even know it was him for real. He's like, man, but somebody had to have my number for real. But Patrick just told him, hey, man, get ready to go to work. And I'm sure he was just excited, like, man, I got it. I made it. Patrick Mahomes just called me. He had just called me. So, man, it brings back so many memories. I mean, this is a confirmation that a dream come true, that all your hard work that you put in effort, dedication, is culminated in something like this. It's come to fruition. And so this is like one of the greatest days that guys will have, achieving one of their main goals they wanted to do in life. A lot of people just don't get to do that. And so these guys, they're there with it. But you can just see on their faces like, man, it is finally here. I think Norman-Lott was sitting there saying when they had the whole rookies in there, and then Clark came up, they had a little speech he was talking about. He was like, man, I'm actually here. I'm with the Chiefs. He said when it's like really hitting that he's actually in the NFL. So guys will have different moments like that all the time. And so it's amazing feeling. I think matter of fact, I said when you get your uniform and your helmet and stuff, you feel like a superhero. It's like a superhero outfit. That's what it feels like. So
in many ways it is. I mean, JD, a lot of people, dress up as you guys for Halloween. It's a cool thing too. Like, even grown men. I mean, I was doing I still do football players as costumes. I did Baker. I did Minshew a couple years ago. I mean, like people still dress up as football players for Halloween. It is like a superhero costume. It's amongst that for many of us.
Oh yeah. So and guys don't take it lightly. They don't take it lightly at all. And the first thing you look at that jersey and your helmet. He's like, man, I'm gonna take care of this thing. I ain't gonna let no dirt get on it. Well, man, you gotta get dirt on it. If you're not getting dirt on it, you ain't really playing it hard. So yeah, I'll get a little bit of dirt on, but that's gonna be it. Other than that, hey man, this thing right here is gonna remain clean. I'm gonna take me some pictures. Woo! I'm gonna send it so everybody else can see it. Send it to my boys. Send it to my family. Bruh, I'm telling you, it is an absolutely unbelievable feeling. Unbelievable feeling. So
Sim McBride says we dress up as them when we go to drink beer and cheeseburgers. Yeah, we're constantly wearing jerseys all the time. We're constantly trying to dress up like you guys.
Yeah. Go drink beer and eat cheeseburgers. We would love to do that in our uniform too. Believe me, Sid McBride, we really would. So that's funny.
And also, too, I think a cool thing is it's like another aspect to it. And obviously, most of these guys come from D1 programs where they have this stuff, but like it's different being on the NFL stage doing like, Simmons is talking to the other guy, like, what shoe size you wear? 14 and a half. It's like, oh, okay. Let me ask you this. How many cleats do you get? Like unlimited amount of cleats? Is there equipment room kind of unlimited amount for you guys? Like, are you guys constantly wearing different cleats for every game? I can't imagine breaking any cleats every game, right?
You could. I would, if I was going to wear new cleats, I would try to break them in a couple of days before, or maybe wear them during that week. And the thing is, man, your dogs, you got so used to putting shoes and stuff on, especially at that, probably won't take that much time to break them in. But it's usually unlimited. It depends on what contract you have. So if you have a Nike, Adidas, whatever it may be, Under Armour, that's usually the thing that you wear. So they make sure that you stay with that now. Yeah, you can't just switch it up. You can't go Under Armour one week like you're gonna lose that contract or you're gonna get you a fine. So you don't want to do anything like that. But unlimited cleats, and that's like the great thing, Marcus. Look, I came from Eastern Kentucky. All right, we didn't get unlimited anything, okay, except a hard time is what we got. But we loved it. We loved every bit of it. We appreciated every little thing that we got. So shout out to Eastern Kentucky University for that. But James White, matter of fact, he's the one that was sending everything out. But when you get to the NFL, it's a whole different thing because the contract that you got, any shoe you want, you look at it, we could get them all in here. They could have it in right there that week in a couple of days, gloves and whatnot. There was so much stuff that I would get that I never really used a lot of my contract. I would like let my family get like what they wanted. I say, okay, y'all want something, go ahead and sign up and get, some gear and stuff like that. Plus they would just give you promotional stuff all the time too. So, I mean, that was back when I was playing. I can imagine what it is now. So, and like you said, man, probably these younger dudes a little bit used to that. I mean, if you played the Oregon and stuff like that, you got a lot of different things.
You're getting hooked up for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, but it is a different thing when you get to the NFL.
It's true.
Totally different thing. You earn that is what you got. That's self-pay for. You pay for it.
Yeah, no, I was just seeing that. It's like, man, like, it's just all these guys. And when Royals talked about like being, anxious, as you tell, getting your helmet fitted, you're like, man, like, wow, whirlwind. Getting text from Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's just so much going on.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.